Hello guys, Craig from Fix It Fellows. I'm back in the garage and I shall be back out on the Fiat 500. Right, so as you may recall, this car has been away for a little while. My daughter has taken it away on a work placement, so it's been down in the New Forest since August of 25. And pretty much November and December the car didn't get driven because my daughter broke her wrist roller skating. Anyway, so the car stood dormant for 6 or 7 weeks. And then when she returned to her workplace in the New Forest in the new year, and we went with her, we found the car was alive, quite literally. So the wheel well here in the boot of the car was full up with water. I think I've got some pictures to show. And mould had started to grow, and it had started growing quite aggressively. The parcel shelf was alive, headlining. The seat belts were starting to be infected by it, and the seat coverings had a lot of mould growth on. So it took quite a bit of considerable cleaning to eradicate all of that. We didn't have the time at that point to investigate the leak, to establish where the leak was coming from. So anyway, the car is back with me for the weekend now. It's currently mid-February 26, and I've got to investigate this water leak. So let's crack on. Right, so there is no water currently in the wheel well, which is good. My daughter has said that she has every now and again she's gone in there with a sponge and mopped it out, but it's nothing like it was. I mean, previously there was water almost an inch deep right away across there. The carpet was absolutely sodden, and at the time I did think that the majority of the water was definitely on this side. This side of the carpet wasn't really wet. This side was absolutely saturated. And just looking now, when you look at the formwork of this floor of this boot, you see you've got these little divots here and here. Well, that one there actually has a bit of water in it. You see that? Okay. And then this carpet here, this is a bit damp, and when you lift it up there's definitely some condensation or moisture under there. So potentially the water is coming down behind here, and it's a question of, is it coming in through a faulty seal, or is it coming in through the aerial there? I mean, basically there's a massive hole in the roof under that, and if this rubber seal isn't working too well, that's the perfect place. So what I'm thinking is, if I detach this rubber seal, get under there, we might even be able to see traces of water. I mean, potentially the water goes in there and runs down there, and so let's have a look at this first. Okay, so water. There is water, that is wet up there. Definitely water there. I think we found it straight away. Right, if I take these clips out of here and here, we'll be able to drop that headlining a little bit. Just whilst I remember, so between discovering this wet problem at the new year and now, we've been putting these in the car. Now these are usually used inside your house for sort of getting moisture out of the air, and as you can see that, so in this top bit here you have these crystals, and the crystals absorb water, and you can see how much water this has been pulling out. So these are a handy little thing if ever you're having problems with dampness in your car. Look up Anzio, they're quite cheap. Usually hang them in your wardrobes and things like that, but quite handy for putting in the car. Anyway, let's crack on with that headliner. Right, okay, so the headliner's been dropped. as much as I need to, and as you can see, look, there's moisture and dampness there. And then if we zoom in on the actual bolt that holds the aerial on, there's definitely some sort of water stain residue on that bolt. Okay, so I'm going to take the aerial out and have a look at the seals. Right, okay, so it's just a case of getting in there with a 10mm socket. You might need to put the ratchet on it as well. Undo that and we can take the aerial out from the roof. Okay, so that's what holds the aerial on. And as you can see, look, there's some water staining on the back of that. So I'm just going to unplug the aerial from here, like that. Right, so let's actually take the aerial off. Okay, so now you can just lift the aerial up. Right, there's the aerial, and I really think this is the culprit. As you can see, look, there's some water staining there. And it's this rubber boot around, look, it's perished. So, simplest thing would just be to replace it, but that would obviously require ordering one and getting one, and the car goes back tomorrow. So, what do I do in the meantime? Right, okay, Amazon to the rescue. Fiat 500 aerial, £14.98, delivered tomorrow. Yeah, I'll get one of them ordered. It's not worth mucking about. Let's just get that done. Right, okay, so it's now Sunday morning. The Amazon delivery is on its way. I think I'm 1 or 2 stops away last time I checked on the app, so it should be here in a minute or so. Should hear a doorbell any minute. Anyway, so last night I did find out I could have just ordered a new gasket for this base. Bearing in mind this base is actually still functioning. When I say functioning, there is, I'm not sure if you're aware, but there is actually a circuit board in there that amplifies the signal. So this cord here, this connection, is actually powered. You get a live feed down through the actual single core of the cable, and as far as I know, it gets the ground from this connection to the underside of the roof, so that completes the circuit. So this is powered by 12 volts, and these go a lot. Okay, so when you're getting really poor radio reception, you need to replace these bases. I've done a previous video on that, check that out. But this one was working, so theoretically I only had to replace the rubber gasket, and it looks like you can get these for anywhere between £3, £4, £5. But the real kicker for me is, as I said to you yesterday, the Fiat is going back this evening. And I couldn't get hold of one of the gaskets that quickly, so I've bit the bullet and gone for a whole new unit. So that's what it is. The other thing I should mention is the connector. Make sure you order a unit with the right connector on it. This one's got like the rectangular one, which I think are always white, and they do one a round connector, which I think is black, but check that out before you order. So yeah, it should all be good. Hang about. There we go, Amazon's here, just bear with me a second. Come in, fella, one moment. Hello, mate. Yeah, lovely, cheers. Thank you. Right, so there we go, delivered as promised, 9.55, pretty good. Right, let's have a look, see what we got. Gonna need some scissors for that. Right, there we go, like for like replacement. And actually that one's got an additional rubber seal around there, that might be handy. Yeah, that one didn't have it on. Okay, see, another little rubber seal there. This is all nice and fresh rubber. Got the right connector for it. All good. Right, going to fit that to the car. As you notice, it didn't come with a mast. I just used the mast from the previous one, so we'll just screw that in there like that. Okay, that's on. Right, going to fit that to the car. Right, okay, so having detached the little cradle and bolt from the bottom of there, and having cleaned the top of the roof there, we just pop the cable through like that, and then we just push that in and it clips into place like so, and then we go back into the boot and put this on. Right, so we just find that cable and we connect it back up to the connection point under there. Go until it clicks into place like that. Just to show you, when you put that cradle thing back on, there are 4 locating points that are kind of chamfered, and your cage goes down onto those chamfers, and as you tighten the bolt out, or rather as you tighten the bolt, the legs splay out in accordance with those chamfers. Okay, that's the correct position. This is the old one, I'm just showing you on that one. We now put the bolt back on. Let's say 10mm socket to do that up. We just do that up. I actually find it a little bit easier with a 10mm ratchet spanner. Okay, it's all done up nice and tight. Can put the headline in back properly now. Put those 2 clips back in to hold the headline in place. Right, that's the headlining all back in, aerial's all connected. We should just check, make sure we've got radio reception. Right, here we are back in the car. Let's try the radio. Yep, good reception. Yep, so that powered roof aerial is working a treat. So I've done a video on this particular radio unit. This is a single DIN and you get to keep the original air vents. Check out one of the other videos in my sort of back catalogue. Also done a video on a double DIN unit where you lose these vents but you get a bigger screen. For us, this one works better because you get those vents, but it's proving to be quite a good radio. But the main thing is that aerial is working a treat. Right, so there you go, there's the new aerial on the roof. Nice good seal, that rubber seal feels nice and fresh. Hopefully that is the or was the source of the problem for this particular car. It caused a lot of problem. Don't want mould like that in your car. So anyway, if you're having damp issues inside your car, probably best to check out your aerial. It's a nice quick win. Yeah, doesn't have to be a Fiat 500 either, it could be on any car with a roof mounted aerial up there. So as ever, thanks for watching. Please be sure to check out some of my other videos. Like and subscribe, and I shall see you again very soon. Cheers. Bye bye.